Let's talk about the Russia-Ukraine war. Both sides say they want to end the war, but it's been 1,246 days, and if anything, the fighting is escalating. "50 days. That's the timeline US President Donald Trump has given to Ukraine and Russia to agree on a ceasefire. How, when and if this peace will be achieved is not known. Will Putin accept Zelensky's peace offer this week? Has Russia changed its war goals? And is Trump destined to lose in this war? I'm Ananya Dutta, and you're watching Grey Zone. It was the 24th of February of 2022, 2 days after Russia invaded Ukraine, or what Moscow calls a special military operation. And the Russian President Vladimir Putin laid out the goals of the war.
I made a decision to carry out a special military operation. The purpose of this operation is to protect people who, for 8 years now, have been facing humiliation and genocide perpetrated by the Kiev regime. To this end, we will seek to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine.
It is widely believed that Putin had thought that it would take mere weeks to achieve these goals, as ambiguous and vague these goals are. But we are all witnesses to the fact that this is not what happened. Today, Russia's goals have changed. A leaked document accessed by TASS lists 5 things. The country calls its goals a peace memorandum. The first one is the complete handover of 4 Ukrainian territories: Kherson, Donetsk, Zaporizhzhia and Luhansk oblasts. Moscow's other demands include that Ukraine should stick to its neutral status, which means abandoning its aspirations to join the NATO, which, to be honest, already looks like a dead deal. Third, a ban on the redeployment of Ukrainian troops. Fourth, an official end to Western arms supplies and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. And lastly, no foreign troops to be deployed in Ukraine. Moscow says it wants peace as long as these goals are achieved.
Russia is prepared to move swiftly. For us, the main thing is to achieve our objectives. They are clear, obvious, and unchanging. But the process doesn't depend solely on us.
The comment comes after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a fresh peace offer for this week. Something the Russians say they are interested in, but are yet to confirm or deny.
National Security and Defense Council Secretary Umerov also reported that he has proposed the next meeting with the Russian side for next week. Negotiation dynamics must increase. Everything must be done to achieve a ceasefire. The Russian side must stop avoiding decisions.
All of this is taking place in the backdrop of Trump's 50-day ultimatum to agree to a Ukraine ceasefire, one that Russia has already rejected. The US president is clearly frustrated. The war looked easy to solve from the outside. So once he entered the White House, he called the enemy a friend and the friend a problem. Trump genuinely believed that his personal rapport with Putin, coupled with a deal-maker's instinct, could bring about a ceasefire. But with 6 months on, reality has hit him and he has resorted to his familiar tools: threats, pressure tactics and sanctions.
Putin really surprised a lot of people. He talks nice and then he bombs everybody in the evening. So there's a little bit of a problem there. I don't like it.
Right now, Trump's tactic is simple. He has threatened secondary sanctions on Russia's key trading partners and opened a fresh weapons pipeline to Kiev. He's hoping this twin-pronged approach will force Putin's hand, but the signs of it are dim.
Everyone has grown accustomed to his, US President Donald Trump's, rather harsh and straightforward rhetoric. At the same time, he reaffirms his intention to continue doing everything possible to facilitate a peaceful settlement. Indeed, President Putin has repeatedly spoken of his desire to bring the Ukrainian settlement to a peaceful conclusion as soon as possible. This is a long process, it requires effort, it is not easy, and it seems Washington is increasingly coming to understand this.
Trump's tactics risk backfiring on multiple fronts. sanctioning Russia's trading partners could alienate countries and push towards China. These states are already wary of US's protectionist policies. Moreover, economic measures often fail to change the course of a battlefield. What it does is create global anxiety. Trump's threat to impose harsh penalties on Russia's trading partners lacks credibility. Such sanctions would trigger a US showdown with China, which trades nearly $250 billion annually with Russia. Sanctioning India could upend America's Indo-Pacific strategy. A war that began with tanks and missiles is now being waged with deadlines and documents. Trump's deadline is political, Putin's deadlines are strategic, and Ukraine's offer of talks is caught between the two. What happens between now and September 2nd could define not just the fate of Ukraine but the credibility of every player involved. Can Trump deliver the deal he promised? Will Russia settle for less than total control? And is Ukraine being forced to compromise, dressed up as a ceasefire? These are questions we are going to attempt to answer in the coming weeks. For now, I'm Ananya Dutta. You've been watching Grey Zone.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.